Far too many photographers, artists, musicians, writers are afraid to fail. I want to talk about failure because it's been a friend of mine for a long, long time. Hi, everybody. Don Giannetti, lighting-essentials.com and project52prosystem.com and dongiannetti.com. I'm going to talk a little bit about a good friend of mine. I think it's important that you keep your friends close. You know what I'm saying? That few and far between. But I've got a good friend that's been with me my whole life, and I want to tell you a little bit about him. My friend's name is Failure. Failure. Screwed the pooch. Didn't get it done. Messed up. Failure. Good friend, been here a long time. Failure, I think, is a big part of the process. Failure is the process. There is no success without failure. There's no growth without failure. Failure is a measuring tool. I've been a photographer and a creative person a long, long time. I taught myself how to play drums before I took drum lessons. I'd write a book about that. As a photographer, I was pretty much self-taught, seat of the pants, learned it in the streets, so to speak. I assisted photographers. I picked things up. I'd go crazy to learn something. And I failed a lot. And it was expensive back in those days because you had to buy a roll of film. Then you had to buy processing for it. So 36 exposures, 36 attempts, 36 screw-ups could cost you anywhere from $6, $8 in black and white to 2 times or 3 times that in color. And if you're shooting large format, 4x5, price goes up. And if you're shooting Polaroid, price goes up. I don't even know how people today could afford to do what we did then. I mean, with the prices of stuff, if you take it and cycle it out, that'd be like $30 for a roll of film to learn. To learn when your film came back that you didn't do something right. So let me tell you about my friend. When my friend Failure shows up, there's 5 things that failure shows me every time. Number 1, failure means I learned something. I did learn a lot. Failure means you learned something. Maybe you learned what worked, but what didn't work. Maybe you learned that this could have worked, but didn't. Failure means I gave effort. Failure means I pushed myself. Failure means I tried. I'm not a big one for the word try. I don't, people, you're going to come to the show, I'll try. That means no. So forget it, But it means I put out the effort and I got something for it. I got a big fat goose egg, or maybe it worked. Failure means I need to know more. I need to know more so that I don't make the same mistake as I made a minute ago. Really, really important. Failure shows me what not to do or to do more carefully next time. If you fail at doing something, you think, well, I learned what not to do, but I also thought, this worked and this worked and this worked. And then that kind of fell apart right there. Okay, I'll work on that. That makes sense to me, right? I'll work on that. So how do we embrace failure? You see that everywhere. People go, well, embrace failure. I say it all the time. I say it to my students all the time. Embrace failure. Failure is good. Failure is growth. Failure is getting from A to C and getting there through B. If you go, it's my ABCs is A, F, C, you got wrong, right? So A, B, C, it's getting from here to there. Best way you can. So here's a couple ways you can embrace that failure. Number 1, stop thinking other people care. I'm serious. Stop thinking. That's what people go, oh, if I fail, everybody will laugh at me. Nobody's going to laugh at you. Nobody gives a shit. I mean, look around. You think they're thinking about you? They're not thinking about you. Here's proof. Go off social media for a month and see how many people send you an email saying, dude, what happened? Man, I haven't seen you there for a while. Do it. Stop measuring your failure against other people's success. You can't embrace failure if you think, oh my God, Bobby Joe, man, he's knocking it out. Linda, she's so amazing, and I'm not. I got to measure my success against their success. Yeah, right, great. That's stupid. Because you don't know how many times they fail. You only see the good stuff. You only see what they hit out of the park. You only see the home runs. You only see the scoreboard. You don't see the swings and misses. You don't see the strikeouts. Hank Aaron was the home run king. He's also the strikeout king. Did you know that? If you don't swing, you can't get a home run. Know that failure is part of the process. Failure is the process. Failure is the process. If you're not failing, you're not doing anything. Systems build in for failures. In other words, when you're building a system for something, you're building in for that failure. You know that failure is coming, so you create a system whereby that failure works for you. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So you've got to develop a system that allows for failure, that allows for you screwing this up, learning from it, screwing it up again, learning a lot more, and then getting it done. I believe in systems, absolutely believe in systems. I don't really believe in goals all that much. I think goals are great. Goals are great. I want to do this, I want to do that. But if you don't have a system for getting from here to there, a system, you're not going to get there. It's really important to note, as we discuss failure, that we have to learn to define it. What is failure? What is it? Is it not getting it done? Well, if it's not getting it done, we got a whole lot of failure going on. Well, a whole lot of people ain't getting it done. All we can do is hope that they will. Do you define failure as not getting it done? What if you couldn't get it done? What if you got sick? Did you fail or did you get sick? Is getting sick an excuse or is it a reason? There's only two things, reason or an excuse. Reason or excuse. Reasons are fine, excuses are worthless. Is it coming up short on our goals? I wanted to be a millionaire by this age and I'm not a millionaire. Is that a failure? Are you worth $370,000? If you're worth $370,000, you made part of it. Is failure a all or nothing game? Oh, I've only made $997,000, so therefore I'm out. I'm done. I missed my goal, so I'm gone. Is it not meeting expectations? Ooh, we're going to talk about expectations in a second. Is it emotional? Is it monetary? Is it physical? Is it status? What is a failure? What's your metrics? How do you define success? How do you define mediocrity? How do you define failure? How do you do it? It doesn't matter how I do it. It doesn't matter at all. It's how you do it. Because it's your thing, your failure, not mine. My failure, I got it defined. I know what it looks like. I know what it tastes like. Been there enough times. Even got a couple of t-shirts. Are they truly your failures? Or did you decide to take on someone else's metrics and shoehorn them into your own expectations? Well, so-and-so did this by the time they were 30 and I'm 32 and I haven't done it, therefore I'm a failure. Well, if you do that, this is plain stupid. That's just plain wacky. You're not them, they're not you. You may have successes they don't have. You don't get to see all their failures, you only get to see their wins. They may have had advantages you didn't have. You may have advantages they don't have. They may be sitting over there going, wow, they're 32 and they got all this cool stuff and you don't think it's cool, but they think it's cool. And it becomes this great big giant rat trap. Everybody wants everybody else's cheese. Stay with your own cheese. It's good. It's good cheese. Unless it's green, that green cheese. No. Failure is often created by unmet, unreal, or ill-formed expectations. I could actually say, well, you know what? I failed. I didn't become president of the United States. Not that I'd want that godforsaken, stupid-ass job, but I didn't get it. Well, did you try to get it? Well, I failed at raising money. Well, did you try to raise money? Well, I failed at having, a PAC. I can fail at a bunch of things. I failed at being an astronaut. Never got invited up. Shatner did, and I think that's pretty damn cool. But Shatner did. I didn't get invited up. Nobody said, hey, Don, you want to come take a ride on the shuttle? Nope. Did I fail? No, because I didn't have unreal expectations. Our expectations are what create failure. Our expectations are sometimes stupid. They're ill-informed. They don't make sense. They're not where we possibly could get, and yet we do it. If the expectations aren't met, does that mean total failure? Total failure? Does it mean you failed a little bit, or you just didn't get this done or that done, and you learned something? Remember, back to the front, you learned something. If the expectations were unreal or clearly not possible, is it really a failure? Like, I can throw my hat in the ring, I can call up NASA and say, send me those astronaut papers and stuff, and I'll fill them out. Is that a failure if they don't take me? If it is, it's one I set up because my expectations were unrealistic. If the expectations are ill-advised, poorly planned, or self-defeating, is it really a failure? Did you really think you could pay some online guru, one of those, hey, we're going to flip houses and get millions for not doing anything? Did you really think if you give them $10,000 is going to make you rich? If you did, that was a really bad decision. It's not failure, it's a damn bad decision. Failure is a mix of bad planning, rudderless motion, you don't know where you're going, and a faulty system. Clean up your system, figure out where you're going to go, and make your planning fix your system, figure out where you're going to go, and then plan it to the last detail. Embracing failure is a great tool to get better at photography, at art, at playing the drums, whatever. So embrace it, love it, and try to defeat it. See you next time.